We have just received reports regarding Queen Consort Camilla's health, and the outlook is not promising.
Shocking news leaked information suggests that Queen Camilla unexpectedly presented King Charles III with a serious medical file detailing her own condition of nervous exhaustion, allegedly in an effort to demand control over the royal family's budget and inherited assets. Yet suspicions immediately began to spread inside Buckingham Palace. Was this truly a genuine health crisis or merely a carefully fabricated medical record designed to manipulate the king's emotions? The situation quickly ignited a fierce confrontation when Princess Anne quietly launched an investigation, determined to expose every contradiction hidden behind her sister-in-law's exhausted appearance. From secret phone calls and a heated confrontation at a private clinic, to a reckless nighttime attempt to destroy evidence, every boundary of trust was pushed to the breaking point.
Was that medical file truly genuine? Or was it nothing more than a ruthless script for manipulating power? And what bitter ending awaited Queen Camilla at the end of this road?
According to reports from the British media and leaked sources from within the royal family, King Charles III is said to have begun implementing an extremely important plan, a comprehensive overhaul of the way the royal budget, also known as the Privy Purse, is managed. At a time when public scrutiny over royal family spending is becoming increasingly severe, the king is reportedly seeking to make deep cuts to excessive expenses, optimize resources, and eliminate areas of operation deemed inefficient. This plan is not merely an administrative decision, but is also regarded as a strategic move aimed at rebuilding a more transparent and modern image for the monarchy. To ensure that the reform is carried out seriously and achieves maximum effectiveness, widespread speculation suggests that King Charles III made a surprising yet entirely understandable decision, entrusting full control and management of the finances to his younger sister, Princess Anne. In the eyes of both the public and royal observers, Princess Anne has long been known as an exceptionally disciplined individual, relentlessly hardworking and consistently direct in every matter. She is widely viewed as the most suitable person to take on the responsibility of cleaning up the irregularities within a financial system that has existed for decades. Placing someone as tough and principled as Princess Anne in the position of holding the keys to the safe of Buckingham Palace was expected to bring about change at the very roots of the system.
However, according to sources close to Buckingham Palace, this decision did not receive absolute agreement from every member of the family. Princess Anne's emergence at the center of financial power is said to have immediately dealt a major blow to Queen Camilla's internal position. Until now, controlling or at least having a voice over the royal family's resources and living expenses has always been closely tied to the influence of the person presiding over the domestic side of royal life. With control of the Privy Purse now reportedly being directed toward a complete transfer to Princess Anne, many analysts believe Queen Camilla's influence over internal resources could be significantly reduced. Royal observers have raised numerous questions about Queen Camilla's reaction to this sudden shift. For someone who has always been seen as deeply concerned with consolidating her position within the palace, facing a direct threat to her internal power created an undercurrent of intense tension. Although no official statement from the royal family has confirmed these alleged conflicts, leaked rumors continue to suggest that unease began to engulf the private sphere shared by the king and queen. The already fragile balance of power among the key members of the British royal family appeared to have been disrupted by a single decision to restructure royal finances. Was this merely a purely financial management move by King Charles III? Or was it in fact the spark that would ignite the next wave of turmoil and hidden calculations behind the closed doors of Buckingham Palace? Would Queen Camilla simply stand by and watch her power diminish? Or would she quietly begin plotting a counterattack to reclaim her position? According to several leaked media sources and unverified rumors from within the royal household, the feeling that her position was under serious threat quickly developed into deep unease for Queen Camilla. Many observers believe that the underlying jealousy she felt toward the absolute trust King Charles III had placed in Princess Anne became the final straw. Faced with the risk of losing her influence over palace resources, Queen Camilla is said to have quietly begun constructing a strategy designed to reverse the situation by directly influencing the king's state of mind.
Several reports claim that Queen Camilla deliberately sought contact with a well-known private doctor based in London's affluent Chelsea district. Public speculation has suggested that a covert financial arrangement may have been proposed under which she offered to pay a substantial sum of money in exchange for the doctor producing a medical file that did not reflect her true condition. The document allegedly diagnosed her with severe nervous exhaustion and major depression, with the principal cause recorded as overwhelming pressure and the intense scrutiny she had endured from the media and public opinion over an extended period. Soon after obtaining this medical document, Queen Camilla is said to have carefully chosen the right moment to appear before King Charles III. Palace sources described her as looking extraordinarily gaunt, with sorrowful eyes and choked-back tears, presenting an image of profound exhaustion designed to appeal directly to her husband's compassion and deep emotional attachment. Faced with his wife's fragile appearance, King Charles III reportedly could not conceal his concern. Realizing that the king was beginning to soften and feel sympathy for her, Queen Camilla immediately seized the opportunity to introduce carefully directed lines of conversation, guiding his emotions with remarkable precision.
In a trembling voice, she allegedly whispered through her tears, "Charles, I truly feel as though I am so exhausted that I can barely pull myself back up." The relentless scrutiny and brutal pressure from public opinion over all this time feel as though they are draining away the last pieces of life left in me. The doctor in Chelsea warned me that if I continue living with this feeling of being pushed aside and having no specific role, my mental state will completely collapse. I do not need pity. I only need a reason, a clear purpose in life that I can hold on to in order to recover my health.
King Charles III calmly replied with concern clearly visible on his face. "Camilla, seeing you like this truly pains me. I have always wanted to protect you from the storms outside. But you know that restructuring the Privy Purse is an extremely heavy and complicated responsibility. I had planned for Anne to take it on precisely to ease the burden on you. Why would you think that you are being pushed aside?"
Queen Camilla shook her head and continued, her voice breaking with emotion. "You do not understand, Charles.
If you hand complete control of the Privy Purse to Anne, I will feel utterly worthless in this house. Being able to personally oversee
and manage the royal budget is not about power. It is the only therapy that can help me rediscover my purpose in life and the confidence I need to overcome this condition of exhaustion. Give the Privy Purse to me, I beg you. It is the only way I can heal myself and continue standing beside you."
Seeing the determination mixed with his wife's pitiful appearance, King Charles III reportedly hesitated. "Do you truly believe that controlling the Privy Purse will improve your mental state? I only fear that such an enormous workload will make your health even worse. I promise you, it is precisely that responsibility and constant occupation that will be the medicine that saves me now," Camilla insisted before skillfully shifting toward a second demand of decisive importance. She stepped closer, took the king's hand, and continued opening her heart in an intensely pleading tone.
"And there is one more thing that keeps weighing on me night and day. Charles, in this fragile state of health, I constantly worry about the future of my children from my previous marriage. They do not carry royal blood. They have always had to endure judgmental eyes. For me to fully focus on my recovery without constantly worrying about the security or future position of my own family, I want you to give me a written guarantee."
King Charles III frowned and asked, "A written guarantee? What exactly do you mean?" Camilla looked directly into the king's eyes and slowly made her demand. "I want you to sign an official commitment transferring the entire priceless jewelry collection of the late Queen Elizabeth II to me and my children from my previous marriage. Those heirlooms are not merely of material value. They would serve as a safety net, as your personal promise that my own family will not be left behind. Only when I have that written commitment, together with control of the Privy Purse, will I finally be able to release the mountain of pressure crushing my mind."
The king reportedly sank into contemplative silence in the face of the relentless demands from a wife who appeared to be deeply broken. Queen Camilla's words are said to have placed King Charles III in an intense internal struggle between personal affection and his responsibilities to the royal family. Yet were those heartfelt confessions truly rooted entirely in genuine psychological suffering? Or were they merely one element in a meticulously calculated script? Would these repeated demands for both financial power and royal assets begin to arouse the suspicions of Princess Anne, who had always kept a close watch on every shift taking place inside the palace?
According to leaked sources from within the palace, the entire scenario Queen Camilla had attempted to construct seemingly failed to escape Princess Anne's sharp perception. Known for her keen instincts and uncompromising principles, Princess Anne is said to have quickly noticed a number of unusual contradictions in her sister-in-law's behavior. While Queen Camilla appeared before King Charles III and the public looking extraordinarily gaunt, exhausted, and drained, she inadvertently revealed an entirely different side of herself in private. Princess Anne reportedly observed that whenever the king was absent, Queen Camilla suddenly appeared remarkably alert and energetic, repeatedly making phone calls in an extremely secretive manner. Noticing the stark inconsistency between Camilla's public display of nervous exhaustion and the intense vigilance and concentration evident in her private actions, Princess Anne decided not to stand by and watch. Instead, she began conducting a quiet yet determined investigation of her own. To gather the most concrete evidence possible, Princess Anne is said to have discreetly planted a trusted confidant within the private cleaning team responsible for Queen Camilla's living quarters. Through this close access, the confidant quickly managed to photograph the Queen's complete call logs, exchanged text messages, and transaction information stored on her phone. The images allegedly revealed an unusually high frequency of communication between Camilla and a specific private number belonging to the Chelsea clinic. With this valuable evidence in her possession, Princess Anne did not hesitate. She reportedly went directly to the private clinic in Chelsea to uncover the truth. The sudden and imposing arrival of the king's younger sister left the private doctor visibly stunned. Entering the doctor's office, Princess Anne closed the door behind her, looked directly at him, and spoke in a cold, steely voice. "I think you know perfectly well why I am here today. Let us dispense with the unnecessary pleasantries and get straight to the point. I am here to discuss Queen Camilla's medical diagnosis file, the one you personally signed and issued recently."
The doctor attempted to maintain his composure and hesitantly replied, "Princess Anne, it is a great honor to receive you. However, regarding Queen Camilla's medical records, that information is confidential between doctor and patient. I followed the proper professional procedures in diagnosing her with nervous exhaustion and severe depression."
Princess Anne cut him off with a knowing smirk, then slowly pulled out several photographs of the phone screen and placed them on the desk. "There is no need to hide behind professional terminology or medical confidentiality with me."
Take a close look at these documents. These are the complete call logs, message records, and details of financial transfers between Queen Camilla's phone and your private number over the entire period in question. This volume of communication bears no resemblance whatsoever to an ordinary relationship between a patient supposedly exhausted by depression and her treating physician.
The doctor stared at the photographs on the desk, and the color immediately drained from his face. Beads of sweat began forming across his forehead. He stammered, "Princess, this is all a misunderstanding."
Princess Anne stepped closer to the desk. Her voice dropped lower, yet carried an extraordinarily powerful threat.
A misunderstanding. The evidence of secret phone calls and financial arrangements is right in front of you. Do you understand how
Serious it is to assist in creating a fraudulent medical record designed to manipulate the king and interfere in the internal affairs of the royal family? If this comes to light and the legal authorities become involved, not only will your career and the reputation of this clinic be completely destroyed, but you personally will face the most severe legal consequences. I am giving you one opportunity, one to tell the truth right now."
Faced with photographic evidence, he could not deny and the crushing psychological pressure of Princess Anne's warning, the private doctor reportedly descended into complete panic. His composure collapsed, his hands began trembling, and he finally lowered his head and confessed the entire truth. The doctor spoke shakily, filled with regret. "Princess, please have mercy on me. I will tell you the entire truth. Queen Camilla was the one who contacted me first. She offered me a very large payment and instructed me to prepare a medical report exactly according to her wishes. She wanted an official diagnosis, stating that she was suffering from severe nervous exhaustion and major depression caused by pressure from public scrutiny, so that King Charles would feel sympathy for her. In reality, based on her medical indicators, she is completely healthy and showed none of the dangerous medical symptoms described in the report. Blinded by greed and the power of money, I agreed to falsify that medical record. Please forgive me, Princess." After listening to the doctor's full confession, Princess Anne calmly gathered the photographs back together, determination flashing in her eyes. "Your confession is extremely important. Now you will come with me and repeat every word you have just said before a far more important audience." With the truth about the fabricated medical records finally exposed, what would Princess Anne do with this explosive evidence when she came face to face with her brother King Charles III?
According to rumors leaked from the corridors of power inside Buckingham Palace, immediately after obtaining the full body of undeniable evidence along with the private doctor's submission, Princess Anne reportedly requested a private audience with her brother, King Charles III. The meeting is said to have unfolded in an atmosphere of extraordinary tension, as Princess Anne placed one file after another on the king's desk, together with screenshots of text messages, call logs, and an audio recording of the doctor's confession.
Princess Anne looked directly at her brother and spoke in an exceptionally serious and decisive voice. "Charles, though I know that what I am about to tell you will be an extremely painful blow, but as a member of the royal family and as your sister, I cannot continue allowing you to be manipulated. The entire story of nervous exhaustion, physical collapse, and severe depression that Camilla has been performing in front of you all this time was completely staged."
King Charles III was stunned, his expression changing instantly as he looked at the documents before him. Frowning, he responded in a trembling voice, "Anne, what are you saying? Do you understand how serious an accusation this is? I personally read the medical diagnosis issued by that respected doctor in Chelsea. Camilla truly has been extremely exhausted and emotionally broken."
Princess Anne shook her head, her eyes filled with sorrow, yet unwavering determination. That diagnosis is nothing more than a piece of paper bought with money. Charles, here is the evidence of the secret phone calls, financial transactions, and exchanged messages between Camilla and that private doctor. Look at it yourself. She paid a large sum of money to purchase a fabricated medical record designed to exploit your compassion, pressure you into handing her control of the Privy purse, and persuade you to sign over the late Queen's jewelry collection to her children from her previous marriage. I went directly to the clinic in Chelsea myself, and that doctor personally admitted the entire deception. King Charles III fell completely silent as he stared at the words and images clearly displayed across the desk. The shock, pain, and sense of betrayal inflicted by the very life partner he had trusted so deeply reportedly plunged the king into a state of profound emotional devastation. After several minutes of heavy silence, King Charles III finally looked up. His eyes were filled with bitterness, which gradually transformed into overwhelming anger. "I cannot believe this. I worried about her health to the point of losing sleep. I tormented myself, and I nearly sacrificed the royal family's own principles of financial management simply because I felt compassion for her. And my trust was turned into a weapon for a filthy act of manipulation like this." Princess Anne stepped closer, placed a hand on her brother's shoulder, and spoke calmly. "The truth is painful, but it has to be faced, Charles. We cannot allow matters of state and the assets of the royal family to be influenced by personal calculations of this kind. You need to act immediately to protect discipline and order."
Nodding with determination, King Charles III immediately ordered an emergency meeting of the Royal Council. The sudden summons reportedly triggered a terrifying undercurrent throughout the palace. The core members of the council quickly gathered inside the closed meeting chamber, where the atmosphere was dominated by gloom and grave seriousness. At the emergency meeting, according to internal sources, the private doctor from Chelsea was brought directly before the Royal Council under close supervision. Faced with the imposing presence of King Charles III, Princess Anne, and the other council members, the doctor completely broke down. Trembling and filled with remorse, he openly confessed to the full extent of his professional misconduct, recounting in detail how Queen Camilla had contacted him, issued specific demands, and paid him a substantial reward in exchange for a false medical diagnosis. The direct testimony of a living witness in the middle of the council meeting reportedly extinguished every remaining doubt and every possible avenue of defense. The truth had been exposed in the most naked and transparent manner possible. Standing before the entire royal council, King Charles III appeared exceptionally resolute. Although he carried the heavy pain of a husband who had been betrayed, he maintained the authority of a monarch standing at the head of the family. The king slowly rose to his feet and delivered his official verdict in a steely voice. Based on the undeniable evidence and the direct testimony presented here, I hereby revoke all previous considerations and intentions regarding Queen Camilla's responsibilities. I formally rule that all internal privileges be withdrawn, all financial control over the privy purse be removed, and every inheritance benefit or property commitment connected to the royal family and intended for her be completely eliminated. King Charles III's uncompromising verdict struck like a thunderbolt, officially bringing Camilla's ambitions for power to an end and restoring strict order within the palace. Would Queen Camilla accept this devastating verdict in silence, or would she resort to reckless and explosive actions under the cover of darkness in a desperate attempt to salvage the situation? According to leaked information from sources inside Buckingham Palace, immediately after the Royal Council's severe ruling was announced, the atmosphere within the palace reportedly descended into an extraordinarily heavy and somber state. The overwhelming fear of losing everything, status, power, and financial security alike, is said to have driven Queen Camilla into a state of profound panic. In desperation, she reportedly tried every possible way to approach King Charles III, repeatedly begging for forgiveness, pleading to explain herself, and wiping away tears as she implored the king to reconsider the marital bond they had shared for so many years. However, faced with the naked truth of a manipulation scheme that had been clearly proven through both fabricated medical documents and the direct testimony of a witness, King Charles III remained completely resolute. The severe damage done to his trust made it impossible for the king to be swayed by her belated pleas. Even so, out of compassion and respect for the remnants of their personal bond, King Charles III still decided to grant her one final act of mercy. She would be allowed to remain in the palace for one final night, giving her time to calm herself, reflect on her actions, reassess her own behavior, and seek the most sincere path toward repentance before all official decisions were carried out. Yet in complete contrast to the expectation that she might show remorse, Queen Camilla reportedly chose an entirely negative and extreme course of action. Realizing that the time remaining to her could now be measured only in hours and that all of the evidence against her was still being stored within the king's working quarters, her fear transformed into reckless action. That very night, instead of quietly reflecting and seeking forgiveness, she is said to have secretly devised a dangerous plan to destroy all of the incriminating evidence. According to reports from royal media observers, Queen Camilla quietly made arrangements and instructed trusted aides to find a way into the document storage area in order to destroy the files, screenshots of messages, and other critical evidence Princess Anne had collected. But she reportedly did not stop there. At the height of her recklessness, she secretly made her way toward King Charles III's private office, where confidential files and the records from the Royal Council meeting held earlier that day were being kept, hoping to erase every remaining trace that could be used to implicate her. However, every calculation Camilla made under the cover of darkness completely collapsed against Buckingham Palace's strict security system. Every suspicious movement, every furtive step, and every attempt to gain unauthorized access to a restricted area was captured in full detail by the palace's modern surveillance cameras. The monitoring screens inside the Security Control Center repeatedly issued alerts over unusual activity, near the king's private office. Royal security officers conducting their nighttime patrol were immediately placed on emergency alert. They moved quickly toward the scene, sealed off the exits, and successfully prevented the intrusion before any document or piece of evidence could be damaged. The incident reportedly unfolded in near silence, yet carried an unmistakable sense of menace, brutally exposing Queen Camilla's final reckless attempt to make the evidence disappear. This extreme act of retaliation not only failed to salvage the situation, but instead destroyed with her own hands the final remnants of compassion King Charles III still held for her. What happened that night transformed what had been an opportunity for repentance into indisputable evidence of stubborn defiance and a determination to pursue a blind ambition to the very end. After the nighttime intrusion was discovered and completely stopped, what final judgment would King Charles III deliver the following morning to bring this entire crisis to an end? The following morning, once Camilla's stubborn actions and nighttime intrusion attempt had been fully exposed before the entire security apparatus and the Royal Council, King Charles III's final reserve of patience officially collapsed. There was no longer any internal struggle, nor was any further opportunity for forgiveness offered. Faced with conduct that had crossed every boundary of proper standards and trust, King Charles III decisively ordered Camilla to be expelled from Buckingham Palace immediately. The expulsion order took effect at once, bringing an end to her presence at the very headquarters of monarchical power. Stripped of all the glory and authority she had once possessed, Camilla was left with no choice but to pack her belongings in silence and bitterness. She walked out through the gates of Buckingham Palace beneath heavy rain that blanketed the royal surroundings. Her anguished cries and belated pleas were swallowed by the sound of the downpour, as no one around her was any longer willing to accept or sympathize with the actions she had committed. Complete isolation engulfed the woman, who had once stood in the position of queen, marking a tragic yet inevitable ending. The entire story closes as a profound warning about Queen Camilla's unavoidable downfall in the face of blind ambition and opaque acts of manipulation. At the same time, through these turbulent events, the story fully honors the sharp judgment, absolute loyalty, and unwavering strength of Princess Anne, the woman who quietly yet decisively stepped forward to protect discipline, royal assets, and the stability of the entire royal family. What are your thoughts on the actions of these characters and the ending given to Queen Camilla in this story? In your opinion, what deeper meaning or lesson does this turbulent chain of events offer about trust and ambition? Before you go, we'd just like to say thank you. Every story you watch here is the result of hours of research and careful storytelling. If you enjoyed today's video, we'd truly appreciate your like and subscription. We know it takes a few extra seconds on a TV remote, but your support helps us keep creating even more thoughtful, high-quality stories.